Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and today's letter comes from Robert, who says, "Dear Mr. Lovecraft, as your work becomes more mainstream, do you fear that the more subtle details of your writing will be lost in favor of surface features and generalities till all that remains is a caricature of the lowest common denominators that have stuck in the public mind, all coated with a bright but fake sheen? In short, do you fear that J.J. Abrams, that vile repackager and homogenizer of all that is special in geek culture, will one day get his hands upon your work and process you into McDonald's for the masses?" First off, I will have nothing ill said about Mr. Abrams. Felicity was and remains a national treasure, and in many ways was ahead of its time. As for the concerns mentioned here, no, I'm not particularly afraid. As a writer, I have very little control over my legacy or how people respond to my work. What matters to me is the work itself. And unless Mr. Abrams and his army of Disney lawyers can scoop up all the extant copies of my stories and render them into ash, there's nothing to stop people from discovering them, reading them, coming to their own conclusions. As an artist, I wish to inspire others to act as a stepping stone in a garden of literature, not as a destination. If I inspire more good art than bad, then I've done my job, but ultimately it's not up to me. And if my legacy can withstand my monsters being turned into Japanese schoolgirls, I think they can withstand almost anything. No, what I think this comes down to is how a community feels when a story or a genre or a writer that they embrace comes into a more general public scrutiny. It can create a sense of, well, of invasiveness, of having something that belonged to you being snatched away and no longer being quite so special. And indeed, it winds up with these arguments over authenticity and who is a real fan or someone who is truly appreciative of an art form. And there's so much energy wasted in those fights that could have been spent better creating art. So that is my advice to you. If you're worried about one of my stories being made into some giant blockbuster with all manner of lens flare and diverse casting, then don't watch it. Make something better. Indeed, I think you have quite the title here with That Vile Repackager. See what you can do with that. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.